Once upon a time, we did not live where we do now. Our galaxy was majestic, and our kingdom spanned multiple systems and clusters. The good queen ruled her subjects well, and magic was much more commonplace. Wizards and mages used their abilities to bring comfort across the vast distances in space. But it was never to last. Soon, factions conspired to obtain more and more power, and our wars, fought with both magic and science, caused colossal destruction. Stars were snuffed out, and portals to alternate realities and dimensions were opened, resulting in beings crossing over and devouring all in their path. Soon, our galaxy was burning, and we were at risk of being driven to extinction. But on a distant world, in a system on the edge of the galactic rim, our salvation was found. An asteroid, made of the notorious black iron, a substance at that point unknown to us, for it did not occur naturally in our galaxy. Our researchers concluded that it could only have come from another galaxy, and we believed it could be used as a magical ingredient to open a portal to that galaxy. So in the dying days of the cataclysm, we brought the remnants of our fleets to the edge of the galaxy, and our researchers, with one final last use of magic, opened the portal and allowed our Exodus fleet to cross to another galaxy, into a star cluster we now call the Cradle. In the Cradle, over hundreds of years, we have found some habitable worlds and constructed stations. Life thrives. No longer being overshadowed by the various colleges of magic, corporations now become wealthy, taking it upon themselves to advance the cause of terraforming, medicine, and industry. Magic itself is now much weaker, and its use is suspicious after its power destroyed our home. But it also saved us, and its users practice it from time to time. But the Cradle is a harsh place. The magic that transported us here also caused tears in the fabric of reality, called the Sundering, which brings some of the horrors we saw in our old galaxy here. And although Princess Emily does her best to rule the Cradle with peace and justice, corporations and noble families struggle for the now much more limited resources. Wars and violence are not uncommon far from civilized space. On the edges of the Cradle, in the Outlands and the Expanse, families are more free to pursue their own interests, away from the influence of corporations and nobility, such as trade and asteroid mining. These independents struggle against the influence of corporations who seek to mine these asteroids themselves. One of these corporations is Half Moon Industries, owned by the notorious but mysterious Jebediah Wolf, who has been seeking greater territory on the outskirts of the Cradle. These issues caused one of the independent families, the Holdemans, to step up. The leader of the family, Marketa Holdeman, took it upon herself to travel to the center of the Cradle, where she now runs an organization devoted to standing up for independent miners against these corporations. Her daughter stayed behind in their home sector to continue mining and raising her granddaughter Elise until she comes of age. Elise's father was an explorer who delved deep into space to create new maps. Before he left on his adventure, he gave Elise an old relic from our home galaxy, a red cloak and hood, that was said to still hold some magical power for her protection. She wore it everywhere she went, and it was no surprise when she started piloting her own ships that her call sign was Riding Hood. But on this fateful day, Riding Hood and her mother are on the small station that serves as their home in the vast asteroid field of this sector. A few other families are there, talking about the sudden blockade that Half Moon Industries have put up around the sector, but their worst fears would soon be realized, as soon alarms blared and corporate ships would enter the system. Half Moon troops land on the station and begin taking out what few defenders there are. Riding Hood's mother manages to drag her away into a secluded spot, where she hands a package to her and looks her dead in the eyes. "I must help the defenders, Elise. Find the ship. You need to take this to Grandma. Let her know that Half Moon have attacked the sector." After an objection from Riding Hood, her mother raises her voice in anger and insists. She grabs a necklace made of black iron hanging around Riding Hood's neck and asks her to swear to her. After a last hug, her mother unholsters her pistol and leaves, and Riding Hood, wiping away some last tears, pulls her red hood over her head. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dice Fable, where we use dice to bring stories to life. I'm Glenn, and we're on episode 1 of Riding Hood and the Cradle. So, if you watched the last 2 episodes, you may have seen me show off the kind of world a bit, and we designed our sector, Rosalind's Hideout, which is the sector we're going to start with. We've determined the settlements. We have MS, 1999, which is the station that we're going to start off from, and we have Jane's Farm, which is the only other settlement we know of at the moment I say know of, there might be other settlements, but Jane's Farm is the one that's narratively relevant to us at the moment. And we know that Half Moon Industries have placed a blockade of the sector, for reasons we don't know. Well, we can guess, but we'll let the game, maybe we'll figure that out, maybe we won't, we'll let the game decide. So in this episode, we're going to actually start playing the game, which should be quite exciting. Now, you'll have to bear with me a bit, because although I have played Starforged and Iron Sworn quite a lot before, it's actually been quite a while since I played it myself and didn't watch other people. So it may take some time for me to get back into the groove of things and fully understand what's going on. And also, the last time I played, I think I was playing the sort of the backer version, not the final version. This is my first time playing the final version, so some things may be a bit different. But yeah, we'll explore it together. I may miss a few rules here and there, and all sorts of things. But, Starforged, as it says in the rulebook, Starforged is a game about telling a story, so if there's a rule that is missed, we'll just deal with it later on. Okay, so let's begin. Now, we already kind of know what the starting situation is because I put it at the beginning of the video, but let's follow the actual moves of the game. And I do also have the play kit here as well, where we can see all of them in far more detail, which should help somewhat. In looking at things as well. So let's have a look at the begin a session move, which is here. Now let's have a look at it on Roll20, because it may give us a much better view. Okay. When you begin a significant session or chapter of play, do all of the following. Identify or adjust flagged content and set a flag, which I've done already. Review or recap what happened last session. There is no last session, so that's fine. And we want to set the scene by envisioning our character's current situation and intent. Okay, so let's see here. So we're on MS 1999. We were just doing what we normally do. I think we were mending some equipment somewhere. But all of a sudden, the alarms blared, the alerts came, Half Moon Industries troop ships docked at our station, they unloaded, and our station isn't like a military outpost, it's a place where we live, we're based out of, it's on an asteroid, it's a small, it's not really a station, I guess, it's like it's not a space station, but it's a station. We're on the surface of like a large asteroid planetoid, and yeah, that's where we live, and they came in, and now alarms are blaring, gunfire is going off as the defenders try to put up some kind of resistance. And our mother dragged us into, I think a storage kind of place, and sparks are going off and things like that, and she made us swear to her that we will get off this station, and so we had to say goodbye to her then, and we swore the vow, which we'll get to in a minute, and so we're stood there in the storage container, alarm still going off, gunfire going off, the lights are going off and on as the emergency lighting kind of comes off and on again, and so that's the situation that we're in. We're in our home is being attacked by Half Moon Industries, and we have to get out of here. So she takes the necklace made of black iron. I think it's a golden sort of rock thing that's there, maybe in the shape of like a fox, and she she remembers the vow that she swore just a few minutes before, which we are going to swear now. So swear an iron vow. So in Starforged, you swear vows unto people that you and quests and things, and that's how you get experience for completing them. And yeah, I guess I didn't introduce what Starforged actually was. It's a tabletop RPG, and it's designed so that you can play it with a group of people, but you can also play it, it's specially designed that you can also play it by yourself to tell the story of your character, you know. So for those situations where you just want to tell a story or you're unable to schedule a game, it's great for, you know, being able to still play a tabletop RPG. So when you swear upon iron to complete a quest, write your vow and give it a rank. Okay, so our vow is going to be, we have our background vow, of course, which is deal with Jebediah Wolf, and we made our character in the previous video. So if you want to get more details about that, feel free to check it out. But as a summary, here are our stats: Edge 2, Heart 3, Iron 1, Shadow 2, Wits 1, and our background vow is, of course, to deal with Jebediah Wolf, who has been a thorn in our side since we were a child. So let's add a new one. And this vow is going to be Escape MS 1999 with the package. So that's what we swore to our mother. Escape MS 1999 with the package. What is in the package? I don't know. That is the beauty of Starforged. We don't have to know these things at all. And right now the package is closed. And so it's a small suitcase that we kind of have with us that's kind of same size as a basket of cookies, maybe. You know, wink wink. Some inspiration from the fairy tale there. But yeah, we don't know what is actually in the package. We just know that we are able to lift it currently. But we can figure that out later, and the package is obviously closed, so we can't look into it. So give it a name and rank. So here we have our ranks. Now I'm not intending this to be like a sort of proper full tutorial on how to play Starforged, but I will explain a few things as we go along, but I'll try and keep it quite simple. So the difficulty of a vow like this basically means, you know, how long it's going to take to complete it and how many things you're going to have to do. So if it was just troublesome to escape with the package, every time we make progress, this fills up a lot quicker. And if it was dangerous, it would fill up a lot slower. And if it was epic, like our background vow, it's going to take quite a while to complete that. And that's honestly an incredibly overly simplified version of what vows are, but it's okay for our purpose for now. I think as I play, it will through osmosis everything will become understood. So yeah, escape MS99 with the package. I'm going to put it as dangerous because I don't think it's going to be troublesome really to escape, because yeah, it is dangerous. There's armed men and women around the place shooting at each other, so that's obviously going to be dangerous. So that is the swear, that is the vow. Then roll plus heart. If you swear this vow to a connection, add +1. If you share a bond, add +2. Now I didn't make our mother a connection or bond because I'm pretty sure she's not going to be with us for much longer, so I didn't mechanically make her anything. But for this vow, I'm going to assume that we share a bond with our mother, obviously. So I am gonna roll as though we had a bond, even though we don't mechanically have a bond with her. So roll plus heart. And what we're going to do is, let me just have a look at that again. Roll plus heart. So it's going to be heart +2. So it's going to be, also, we're on a space station. So one of my assets, which is kind of the special moves that we picked earlier for our character, to make us different from everyone else, is Voidborn. And Voidborn says, you are most suited to life in the limitless void. When you're in space or a spacebound vehicle or station, increase your momentum reset by 1. So we start off at 2, we're going to go to 3, and momentum just means that we could succeed on rolls that we otherwise may not have, the higher this is. Okay, so let's go to the move, and let's actually do it then. So roll plus heart. Roll plus heart is going to be heart plus 2. And our heart is 5, which is our highest stat. And so, no, sorry, the modifier is not going to be 5, the modifier is going to be 2. And we're going to roll and see what we get. A weak hit still. Oh, that's good, but I was expecting more, to be honest, but yeah. So the way this works is we roll a d6, and we add our stat to it and any modifier, in this case is 5. So on the dice, we rolled a 3, and then we added, we rolled a 3 on the d6, I added my heart of 3 to get 6, and I added the plus 2 to get 8. And we also rolled 2 d10s. One d10 ended up being a 2, and one d10 ended up being a 9. We want our action score, our d6 and our stats and any modifiers to be higher than both of the d10s to succeed. If it's in between both of them, let me just change that. If we're in between both of them, then that's a weak hit or a partial success. If you're used to Dungeon World or Apocalypse World, it kind of works in the same way. But if it's below both of the d10s, then it's a miss and we failed and bad things happen. So let's go back to the move and see. I hope I explained it okay how the rolls in Starforged work. You can always ask me again in the comments section below if you have any other questions. So let's see here. On a weak hit, you are determined, but begin your quest with more questions than answers. Take +1 momentum and envision what you do to find the path forward. Okay, so now we're on 4 momentum, and momentum basically allows us to... So for example, if our momentum was 9, I believe we could have cancelled out this 9, which means our 8 would have been higher than 2, and we would have got a strong hit. And I think that's how momentum works, in my head anyway, but it will tell us when we can burn momentum to go to the higher result. So we got 1 momentum, and it's now clear what you must do next. So, you know, we look at the fox black iron necklace around us, and then we think to ourselves, how are we going to get off this station? We need to find a safe path to possibly a ship somewhere in a hangar bay or in one of the hangar bays. So what I'm going to do is, I think the first thing we have to do is we have to find some information, or maybe a terminal or somewhere, just to see if we can, you know, get like a blueprint of the place and find a safe path out to where there might be a ship. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the Oracle if there is a terminal where we are in our little storage place. And so I'm going to say that, and the Oracle is just a table that gives us a yes or no answer about how likely something is. And it's kind of our game master, although you're not beholden to whatever the Oracle says, it's just for inspiration. So I'm going to ask the Oracle, is there a terminal in our little hidey hole storagey place that we're hiding in? And I'm going to say that it's, would a storagey place have a... I'm going to say it's unlikely actually, because I don't think this storagey place would have a terminal like that. So I'm going to say it's unlikely. So unlikely is 125 yes, 26 to 100 and no. So there's no terminal where we are. So we have to actually get to, I think on the corridor, I think down the corridor somewhere, there will be a terminal on the wall that we can use. So we have to get to a terminal on the wall. So We go to the door, we open the door, we peek out, the gunfire gets a little bit louder, the alarms are still going on, and what we're going to do is we're going to try and run to a terminal on the wall, terminal on the corridor, the emergency lighting, you know, blinking on and off as we run there, and we're going to see if we can, you know, find a terminal on the wall so that we can find a safe place out of the station. So we're going to have a look at the moves here and see if there is a move that we want to do. So let's see. I think what we're going to do, the move that we're going to do is, well, so you don't go, I want to make this move, so I'm going to do this. You go, I'm doing this, and that's going to trigger a move. So she is going to run through the corridor of the station to try and find a terminal on the wall that she can use to see if she can find a safe route to a ship that she can use to escape. And that is going to be face danger. So let's have a look at it on roll 20. Face danger is over here. Okay. When you attempt something risky or react to an imminent threat, envision your action and roll. If you act with speed, mobility, or agility, roll plus edge. With resolve, command, or sociability, roll plus heart. With strength, endurance, or aggression, roll plus iron. With deception, stealth, or trickery, roll plus shadow. With expertise, focus, or observation, roll plus wits. So I think we're just running. I don't think we're trying to hide or do anything like that. I think we're just running. I think speed is the port of call at the moment. So let me roll plus edge, and we'll see what happens there. Let me just see. Do I have an asset that can help? I have the shade, but we're not going to use that just yet. Demolitionist, no. Alright, I'm just going to make the move. Just going to make the move. Okay, what did I say? I said edge. So let's roll, and that's a weak hit. So what does the move say? On a weak hit, you succeed, but not without a cost. Make a suffer move. Ooh, okay. Let me think. Let's roll on the action and theme table to see what the cost might be. It's only a weak hit, so it's not going to be anything too dire. Let me have a look and where the oracles. Let's see. Let's go with descriptor and focus. Safe art. Okay, let's go action and theme. Depart family. Depart family. Okay, I think what happens is as we're walking, we can hear our mother. So depart family. As we are, you know, walking, we can hear our mother's voice somewhere, you know, down the corridor. She's like shouting orders to people. She's firing a gun, and I think, you know, we just lose a bit of spirit at having to leave her and go in the opposite direction to get to this terminal. So we lose some spirit. So our spirit goes down to 4. Spirit is like our mental health. And it just says make a suffer move. Now what I could do if I wanted to was I could go to, I believe it's endure, I believe it is suffer moves. I could endure stress. When you face mental shock, suffer -1 spirit for minus stress. So I could choose to resist it. I could choose to resist it. Okay, I'm gonna actually, because our momentum is low, I think I'm actually gonna choose to resist it. So, when you face mental strain, shock, or despair, suffer -1 spirit for minus stress. So we've done that already. Then if your spirit is 0, you choose to resist the spirit, roll plus spirit or plus heart, whichever is higher. I believe a spirit is higher, because our heart is 3, but our spirit is 4. So we're gonna resist with spirit. So let me see if I click this, does it roll? Okay, cool. No modifier, and we got a weak hit again. I mean, at least they're not misses. So let's see. On a weak hit, if you are not shaken, you may lose momentum -1 in exchange for +1 spirit. Otherwise, press on. Okay, I don't want to lose momentum for spirit right now. I'll just take the hit to spirit, so we'll carry on. So, you know, as we get to the terminal, we look back, you know, we hear the gunfire, and we just, you know, try to see what we can find from this terminal. And, you know, we do think about going back, but we swore the vow to our mother. She wants us to go, we're not going to let her down. So, yeah, let's carry on. So we're at the terminal now. It's just a terminal on like the wall. I think it's glitching a little bit as well with like the emergency lighting going on and off. And what we're going to do is going to try and get through the terminal and see if we can actually, find a safe route to where the ships are. So for that, we're going to do, I believe, a gather information. Gather information. Let me know in the comments, by the way, if you prefer me to read it from here, or if you prefer me to read it from Roll20. I don't really mind. I kind of like the play kit, because, you know, it's what, if you were playing this yourself, it's what you would have in front of you. You wouldn't have Roll20, you would have that. So it depends. Let me know which one you prefer. But let me find gather information on here. When you search for clues, ask questions, analyze evidence, or do research, roll plus wits. Okay, so we are, that's what we're doing. We're in the terminal looking for a safe route. So roll plus wits. Now this could go really badly because our wits is 1, because I put it that because I don't think Riding Hood has, in the story I don't think Riding Hood had that good high wits, because her mum said go on this path, and she said no, I'm going to go to pick flowers, and that's why she met the wolf, which is why I made her wits 1. So this could go quite badly, but let's roll and see what happens. Of course, that's the one I get a strong hit on. That's the one I get a strong hit on. Okay. I'm not complaining, but it's funny that my lowest stat gives me the strong hit. Okay. It's because one of the d10s rolled a 1, which is nice. Okay. On a strong hit, you discover something helpful and specific. The path you must follow or action you must take to make progress is made clear. Envision what you learn, then take +2 momentum. Okay, so here's what I think we learned. So we're on 6 momentum now, which is really good. So here's what we think we learn. Half Moon troops are all in the corridors. There's no way to really get to the hangar bays without having to fight one of them. But there is a maintenance sort of vent place where you can access inside the walls, and following that, if you follow that route through the maintenance shaft, it will actually take you to where the to sort of the hangar bay, well, one of the hangar bays where there is a ship. So there is a ship. So that's what Riding Hood sees on the terminal. You know, she goes through the camera, she goes through the schematics, and she does live here. She already kind of knows what she's looking for. She just kind of confirm it, and yeah, she finds the route she has to go, and we take the momentum, and now we have to go. So what she does then is, so first of all, I'm going to count that as progress for escaping. We found the route, so that's 2 ticks. Basically, the higher this is, the better, and you'll see why later on if we complete it. Okay, so we found the place. So now what Elise does is she goes to we have to find the entrance to the maintenance shaft first of all, and she sees the entrance somewhere there, and so she's going to go and she's going to see if she can enter it. So let's have a look at the moves and see which move might be good. Let's see here. It's either going to be secure advantage or it's going to be face danger again. When you assess the situation, make preparations or attempt to gain leverage. Envision your action and roll. If you act... okay. So I could secure an advantage, actually. Okay. Yeah, she's going to try and see if we can find a way to enter the maintenance shaft. So that's what she's going to do. She's going to secure an advantage. She's going to look at the terminal a bit more, see if she can find, you know, a place where there's less enemies around. So let's look at secured advantage. When you assess the situation, make preparations or attempt to gain leverage. Envision your action and roll. if you act, I kind of did this the wrong way around because I kind of wanted to do a secured advantage, is why I did the thing. You're not meant, well, meant is a strong word because it's your game and you can play with however it is you want, really. But yeah, I was meant to, so you know what, I'm not going to secure an advantage because I'm just going to say that she didn't think to do that. And yeah, her wits is one. She probably didn't think to do that. She's just going to go and find like the shaft entrance somewhere. So that's what we're going to do. And so finding the entrance is going to be face danger again. And again, she's going to go with, well, this time she's going to go with shadow, because now she knows where people are. She's going to try and, stay in the corridors. I think she, puts her back against the wall as some Half-Moon troops run past us, and then she goes where they went from. She kind of is trying to do that now. So let's see. When you attempt something risky or react to an imminent threat, envision your action and roll. If you act with speed, mobility, or agility, roll plus edge. Let's roll with, oh, there's a button here. Okay, I want to roll with shadow. No modifier. Strong hit, okay. On a strong hit, you are successful. Take +1 momentum. All right. So she finds the entrance to the shaft by avoiding the Half-Moon troops, and she enters the entrance, and she starts making her way through the maintenance shaft to see if she can find a way to the hangar bay. Will she find her way there? We'll find out on the next episode. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.